Apologize for the delay in getting this Scorpio and Sagittarius videos up, mainly because this is like my third attempt to film your video, and for some reason I'm having trouble doing so. So okay, we have the first card here, Nine of Wands in the reverse position. I'm going to pull out all the cards, by the way, before I start talking, just because for the past 3 videos that I try to film, I was talking during it, and for some reason the messages didn't come together the way that, you know, they normally would when I do this spread and when I do the when I use the spread and when I use this deck. So let's just see. Okay, interesting. Very good cards actually as the outcome. Okay, so let me just take a moment here. Okay, so the overarching theme here is, see if you can see this. The Nine of Wands, which is in the reverse position, it indicates, well, in the upright position, it indicates taking some time off, taking a period of rest and repose and introspection in order to formulate a game plan for yourself. So if we're looking at this situation based on, you know, medieval times or even in the Renaissance time period where there are nations warring, going to war with one another, it's a period of like that calm before the storm, okay? And the storm, the proverbial storm, is not always a bad thing. It's just it's sort of like that period of calm before the next phase in which things are happening. So I do feel that within the past, in the past position, you have the Three of Coins, which indicates, you know, luck is coming through, or at least on the financial front, there is sort of like, you know, a contract being signed, a person that you're collaborating with, and also a lot of help coming through, financial help coming your way. I do feel there's an element of contract being signed, and now as a result of the contract being signed, some things are being implemented in the future. So it's sort of like that calm before the storm. It's the calm, it's the time period in which, you know, within the past month, it has been that waiting game, that time period in which you're waiting for things to finalize. You're waiting for situations to get off the ground. And you were waiting, and it was a little bit troublesome because you were very anxious, okay? So this is the week in which things are gaining momentum and traction, and things are heading off to a very solid, swift, kinetic start for you. So that waiting period is definitely coming to an end. What's crossing it here is the Moon card in the upright position. And well, it's a crossing energy, so it can be neutral. But I'm sensing here that because you had to wait for so long and finally things are like culminating, things are coming to fruition, there was a very strong celebratory energy about it, okay? At the same time, for those of you who might not have dealt with this as a celebratory energy, a lot of you during that whole waiting game, you were cycling through like very bizarre scenarios in your head, and you're thinking to yourself like, what if you're kind of like going through, you know, like the what ifs, like what if they leave me stranded? What if, you know, I feel like the people are trustworthy, are very trustworthy. However, you're like in a period of self-doubt and you're thinking like worst case scenarios, and you're probably thinking the worst things about the people. So if you are still in this situation when you're watching the video, just put an end to it, okay? There's a lot of mental energy that is like hindering your ability to move forward, okay? I do feel the people are very well-meaning. The people that you're partnering up with on the business front, they've got good intentions, and I do feel it is the beginning of a very fruitful business partnership. I'm also sensing here that so this is the crowning energy. We have the Empress in the reverse position. So I do feel the Empress upright indicates expansion. You know, the Empress rules her domain. She is going to expand her kingdom, expand her empire, expand her domain, expand her control over a situation or a geographical terrain. In the reverse position, I do feel a sense of contraction, okay? So the way this can play out for a lot of you is that, for example, a lot of you might have owned a store. Business it started to go downhill, or there was like a slowdown in the business front, and you've had to like close off sections of it. So I do feel a contraction on the business arena, okay? And so if you have like 3 stores and you're planning to expand it, or open another franchise, then it's going to be a little bit problematic, mainly because it's that waiting period, it's that calm before things pick up, okay? So in the future, I do feel things can pick up and you can expand once again. But for the rest of this month, I do feel contracting within healthy means, contracting, or at least a contraction coming through. It's not self-imposed, it's mainly something that you have to do due to your circumstances, due to situations outside of your control. You're not entirely happy with it, and you're not even sure if this is the right thing to do. And I can assure you that very, very soon you can expand again. Just for this month, listen to your intuition regarding this situation, and I do sense that you are going to be guided to contract, to at least downsize, downgrade. So don't do anything too extravagant. This is basically the opposite message that I was getting for, Virgos, who I told them, like, do it now and do it big. Whereas for you, it's sort of like slow down now and slow down big, So either way, this is a card of introspection. So I do feel that you are going to have to do some research, okay? The Hermit, usually I associate it with research. In the reverse position, it indicates that market research definitely needs to be tapped into, needs to be done at this present moment to understand a lot of the business cycles or the trends that you're going to have to deal with, okay? I also feel it's a very business-oriented type of spread. So I will address the relationship situation as it pertains to this spread at the very end, because I do want to get through this major theme, because it seems like a business cycle. This is the cycle of contraction for a lot of you who might be self-employed, who might also be working in a company, and the company is deciding, whether or not to downsize, or who it is that they want to let go of. So there's a period of uncertainty in the air, okay? As for what's in your environment that you're not aware of, this is something coming through that is actually very helpful for you, that you're not seeing just yet, that you're not very well aware of just yet. We do have new beginnings coming through, and I do sense that so if you've had to contract, I do feel that you are later on, when the period of expansion again. I do feel that you're going to have, that angel investor who will give you the capital in order to expand, in order to possibly buy a new franchise, or even like a promotion, a job position opening up that is going to be more fruitful for you down the line, for those of you who are employed and working for somebody else. So I do feel a lot of fruitful situations is coming through, but there's a time and a place for it. And you can't really push it. You can't go against the tide. It's just going to come in on its own time, okay? So the advice here is, don't do anything drastic. I do feel market research is going to be required. And do whatever it is that you feel the research is telling you, because you're going to be on the right track, okay? In terms of listening to other people, this is something that you're going to have to undergo and yourself do the research. Trust your instincts on this, because I do feel other people might be leading you astray, because it's not that they're bad people, it's just they're overly optimistic. So I do feel there is some element that is influenced by the business cycle greatly, okay? In terms of your external environment, we do have a little bit of a troublesome card, which is the Seven of Swords. This is somebody who is trying to make a quick buck in a period of economic uncertainty. Okay, this is possibly like for those of you who are planning to expand a business, and you have to like find a location, like a new venue, in order to expand your business into. I do sense that somebody around you in your midst, this can be a middleman, this can be like an agent, this can be This can be like somebody who offers to help you. This is a professional, I'm sensing. This is somebody who offers to help you, but they're taking advantage of they're taking advantage of the uncertainty. They're taking advantage of your eagerness to want to expand, and they're taking advantage of the overall, climate of optimism. So everyone is very optimistic, and they're telling you, they're persuading you to do these things. So it's really important for you to do the research and, think about it, mull it over. And honestly, I feel like, stay stagnant or contract. Don't expand right at this present moment, especially for this month, until like we do have Mercury in retrograde next month as well, so don't do it either. I do feel the climate is going to be best like in 2 months, okay? Let's just bypass the Mercury in retrograde, and I do feel whoever it is, like a middleman that you're hiring to take care of things, or at least, somebody is coming through with some great idea and they want you to invest, and it's because, they do want to take advantage of it, of take advantage of you. So I do sense that you know generally who this person is, and you're not going to succumb to it, okay? It could be somebody who's like, if you're selling a property, for example, if you're planning to cut your losses and you're selling a property or selling a business, the other person might try to lowball you, okay? And you are aware of it, and they're not, I do feel that they're being like covert about it because they're pretty ashamed by their actions. So don't let them lowball you. They know better, okay? Don't let them lowball you. Really stand up for yourself and demand what you feel is worth. Your assets, your business, whatever it is that you're planning to sell or get rid of. It's really important for you to demand what it is that you feel that is worthy of, that assets, that situation. Don't let people lowball you. Stand up for yourself, okay? And don't be in a situation where you feel desperate to cut your losses, that you don't care what the amount the offer comes in. It's really important for you to like have a stick-to-itiveness where you don't give up too easily. This is a very vital time frame right now. So be be patient, and also ride it through beginning to end. At this point, don't get so frustrated that you're just like, okay, I'll accept whatever offer that comes in, okay? This is still room for you to bargain. There's still room for you to stand your ground and demand what it is that you feel you're worth, so that other people don't lowball you, okay? So the time to give up is not yet. Don't give up on this. There's still room for you to exert your power and to get the outcome that you want. If you are able to hang on just that, that last mile, that home stretch, I do feel that you're going to end up in good hands. We do have the Lovers card. So once again, I said this is related to a business situation. I do feel there is going to be a satisfying closure of a business deal, okay? There's also something like in the works, new things in the works for you as well. The other cards surrounding it, I do have the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Coins, okay? The 6 of Coins indicate to me as well, if you were to let this person lowball you, you might end up in a situation where they shortchange you, okay? And you might feel that, well, that's better than nothing. At least, I'm not being left out in the cold, or at least I didn't settle. But the important thing here is you're going to get exactly what you want. So it's really important to hang on just a little bit further for that home stretch and to influence the outcome. So, don't give up on that too soon. Okay, don't give up on it yet. Push through the remaining last 2 weeks of the month. And we do have the 10 of Cups here, which indicates completion on the emotional front. So I do sense that for those of you who are possibly, cutting your losses, this is not something that you want to do. But it seems to me like the external environment has a lot to do with has a lot to do with your inability to hang on to situations. It could be beyond your financial means. It could be as a result of somebody else, like somebody else did something and you're like doing damage control here. So there's that element of, a troublesome energy in your midst, in your external environment, causing havoc, and you're the one that has to like fix these things. You're not happy about having to fix them, but I do feel that you're the best candidate to do it. And I do sense that whatever the work that you're putting in, you are going to be very well received, and at least you are going to get, the proper reception, the proper thanks down the line that you deserve. So aside from the business front, let's look at this as a purely, love spread and see what's going to happen. Well, we do end up with the Lovers, which indicates to me that there is going to be a lot of stability, a lot more stability in your love situation. Um, what I am getting here is a lot of you might be involved with earth signs, okay, because of the Pentacles energy. A lot of you might be involved with earth signs, and I'm sensing here a Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus. So I just want to warn you, mainly because the external environment is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is somebody who is very unscrupulous, who don't have like a moral compass. So it's somebody who knows better, but they don't behave as if they know better. So they might be resorting to like lying, cheating, stealing, and things like that. So it's a little bit problematic. I do feel there is going to be a new opportunity in love coming through for you. However, you have a choice here whether or not you want to pursue new things or whether or not you want to contract and stick to the old people. The old people is going to give you that stability because you've navigated one another many times over and over again, so you know how to handle one another. However, you're not going to be entirely happy because we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So you're not going to get total completion in your emotional state if you stick with the old. At the same time, there's a Six of Coins in the reverse, which indicates to me a lack of balance in the relationship, okay? So new love is trying to break through for you. So this is a month in which you have to push through it. You have to like fight for what you're worth. You can't be complacent. You can't accept what people bring to the table without doing the research yourself, okay? In love, in life, in business, in whatever sector that this is affecting you, especially when it comes to love, okay? I do feel there is a period of, you wanting to compromise, you wanting to lower, feeling as if, you're not making traction on the dating front for those of you who are dating, who are single, and you feel like you have to compromise. Push just a little bit further, okay? So for the next 2 weeks, actively push. And I do feel that the universe as well is trying to conjure up somebody to basically like allow to cross paths with you, okay? So I do sense that if you just push a little bit further, there is going to be new love on the horizon. There is going to be a very, very fruitful relationship that will fulfill you emotionally, okay? It's not going to be one of those love at first sight. However, it has a lot of stability and has a lot of potential. But what you see is not what you get, okay? So you do have to do the background research. You have to go on those dates, and you have to like spend time with the people, give everyone a chance, and ask them those really important questions. So it's kind of like doing the market research before you launch a new product, okay? It's sort of like doing the research into the other person before you decide whether or not they are making the cut for you, okay? So push through it, Libra. You're going to end up in a very, very fruitful either business or, love relationship by the end of this month. It's all contingent upon how you interact with the energy, okay? Will you be complacent? Will you, feel like frustrated and tired and just give up? Or will you just, fight through it, fight for it, and not compromise on the things that you believe in, okay? So this is a very strong, last 2 weeks where free will is going to dictate your destiny, okay? So actively pursue and actively I guess, what is that word? Exercise your free will so that you can end up with the outcome that you want, and you can say once and for all that you're living your life without regrets, okay? So Libras, please take care of yourself and spend some time doing the extra research required in order to make informed decisions moving forward, okay? In love and life. Um, if you would like a private reading, please send me an email at temperatestar@gmail.com. My website, likewise, can be found below in the description box. I wish you all the very best and have a wonderful rest, bang, and fight for it, okay? So take care of yourself, Libras.